What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Duran Duran, and we're back with some more Astronaut from 2004. But I actually just remembered as I started the video. Shout out to Ron, big friend of the channel. Started, I think, interacting with the channel through my Duran reactions, but has shown himself willing to check out all sorts of different things that I've been doing, which I really do appreciate. Anytime someone who finds my channel for one reason shows up in the comments for a totally different playlist, it really warms my heart. So shout out to Ron. He's commented on this shirt a few times, kind of wanted to see the full thing. So yeah, basically the time is meow is what we're saying, and it's done in a sort of, Maoist kind of political poster style. It was a shirt that was released in relation to the second Super Troopers movie when they were trying to crowdfund it. And the first one came out way back. I think it was either 2000 or 2001. I think it was '01. But yeah, they're these kind of hijinks, kind of highway patrol like troopers. They play practical jokes and pranks on people, and one of the ones is they walk up to this guy after pulling him over, and they see how many times they can say the word meow before it becomes ridiculous. So instead of now, he keeps saying like, "All right, meow, let me see your license." And eventually the guy's like, "Are you saying meow?" And it's just this ridiculous scene. It's hilarious though. So this shirt was given away as a promo if you donated to the crowdfunding of the second film. So that's where the shirt comes from. Shout out to Ron. I finally remembered this time. But yeah, we're going to listen to the title tune of the album Astronaut. It's 2004. Again, I'm thinking about this album in the context of the Taylors like coming back to the group, albeit Andy only shortly. But yeah, a number of you have commented about, the way the album came together, and some people have talked about like in the moment it was really exciting, but over time maybe it's not my absolute favorite. Others of you like used my talking about the guitar work and wondering, what specifically Andy brings and, why people would have been excited that he came back. And other people were saying, or people were commenting that, this is why I think Andy's good and this is why I think Dom's good. And that was really enjoyable. I mentioned it, I know before, but, I've read through those comments a couple times now, and it really sort of helps contextualize like one facet of the Duran sound and what has made them what they are over the years in relation to guitar work specifically. So shout out to all of you. But yeah, astronaut, just as a term, again, it's a single word title. It's hard to make a whole lot of that, but someone who travels into space, someone who travels into a domain, a realm that is not often frequented by anything living, much less a human, a tardigrade probably more than a human, but ultimately, yeah, it speaks to someone who is traveling. Strictly speaking, an astronaut means someone who's like traveling to stars. When cosmonaut is used more generally, it's like anywhere in the universe, whether you're going to a planet, a moon, or a void between galaxies or so on. But yeah, ultimately it speaks to someone who's traveling to a stellar entity of some kind. So perhaps it will relate to stars and maybe a different sort of interpretation or a different idiom. But yeah, again, single word titles, even those where there's a lot of potential interpretations, they're a bit opaque, they're a bit hard to penetrate just because, there's no other like verb or something to give you more context for what's happening. So yeah, what I think of out of the gate is someone who has entered a realm that is not, it is a rarefied realm, not often traveled, and perhaps in relation to a star of one kind or another. So let's get to it. This is Duran Duran, Astronaut, from the album of the same name, 2004. Oh. Okay.
Makes my hair stand up on end. Something alien happening. Synchronized but don't comprehend. Cause where I stop, that's where you begin. Another moment I commit.
Oh, I love that bass.
When I take the
Pretty grimy.
and I'm addicted to the state you're in.
I'm addicted to the state you're
Getting
in.
me out of it. Ways that you there's nothing gonna miss you.
Hear that melody, that
I'm leaving with
I think that's acid. The song's had a lot of variety already. The beginning almost felt like dusty kind of guitar rock.
Something tells me you're the alien sex. I can't imagine imagine now what comes next when this astronaut connects.
So we are talking astral phenomena.
When I touch your skin, that kind of strange light you emit. I feel your gravity pull me in. Now you're getting me out of it.
It's kind of like Iran so far away, you're interacting with an alien of the opposite sex.
And we're gonna go to space, yeah. 'Cause I'm leaving with
Definitely acid.
wasted. There's nothing gonna taste this. And we're gonna go to space, yeah. 'Cause I'm leaving with astronaut. Feed for quantum leap. Because space is hot and deep.
Sam, where's the...
And we follow giant footprints as we fall in, falling like the twins through Saturn's holy rings. And if they can't hold us, where it's gonna
spacey, ethereal effects on the vocals. Woo. Sorry, Simon. I mean, he took over the moment anyway. Again, that gritty, kind of grimy bass.
There's nothing gonna taste this. And we're gonna go to space, yeah. 'Cause I'm leaving with astronaut.
A little acid spray. It's like a descending scale and then a spray. I love it.
And we're gonna go to space, yeah. 'Cause I'm leaving with
As well as those big kind of synths. Like,
astronaut.
is that also Simon doing the full blue vocals in the back? Yeah, that's cool, man. Again, any song of theirs where there's potential acid, whether it's a 303 proper or a software or hardware clone, I love it. That's always going to sweeten the deal a little bit for me. Lyrically, it's interesting. Again, I feel like there was a part where it was maybe sort of the slightly more serious version. Or less cinematic version of the song "I Ran" by Flock of Seagulls, because that song is sort of about being hypnotized or enraptured by an alien woman, but who ultimately is very different and sort of zooms him up in her tractor beam and whatever. This one felt like, again, at least for a moment, he was talking about interacting with a woman who has sort of alien skin or so on. So maybe I'm misreading that, but that's what it felt like, at least for that one verse. And then later, it just felt like there were some general lines about traveling to a star out in the astral plane and so on. But yeah, a cool tune musically, certainly. And as I said, that little detail adds a lot for me. As I said, it seemed to sort of evolve through different stages. That opening phase felt kind of almost like acoustic guitar, kind of frontier rock or something, but then it quickly shifted into a more dancey kind of mode with that groovy, sort of rugged bass. But yeah, it was a cool tune. Got to listen to it some more to maybe fill in some of those lyrical details. But do let me know if you got an angle on that. Yeah, enjoy the song. It's interesting to put a title track forth. Again, I'm aware of all different conventions when it comes to that, where you put a title track. I'm also aware of albums where there's no actual song on the album that is the same name as the title track, even though, I'm thinking of an album now, it's by the Subhumans. The Day the Country Died, the last song called Black and White, that's where the phrase shows up, but there's no song called that. But yeah, it's interesting to put a tune forth and then to give the name of that tune to the album. So I'm always thinking about sort of sequencing and composition of the album as a larger work of art. So I'm interested by that choice. Let me know if you have some insight there. Yeah, other than that, I hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time.